Welcome back, guys. This is going to be my review of what I believe to be the best Grom clone out there, the RPS Condor 150cc Grom clone. Got about 50 miles on the bike, so I'm just going to give you just my initial impressions, build quality, and what I think about it so far. First off, the first thing that I like, before I even got to see the bike, I got to see the key. Switchblade key for the bike. I think that's a great feature. I have one on my Audi, but to have that on the bike, I think the brand new Groms also have this, the switchblade key. I think that's pretty cool. Now on to the actual bike itself. I'm comparing this to my previous bike, which was the more common Grom clone, the Boom Vader. I had the BD 125-10. So that's my basis for comparison. I've never had an actual Grom, but I did have a different Grom clone. For starters, this one is 150 cc's versus 125 cc's on both the Grom and the Grom clones. This one also comes with a 5-speed transmission as opposed to the 4-speed that is on the Boom Vader. If I'm not mistaken, the most recent generation of Grom now does come with a 5-speed transmission. The overall build quality, from the plastics to the vibration, the quality of the tires, nuts and bolts being tight and not missing, everything from that aspect, in my experience, has been far superior to what I experienced when I bought a Boom Vader. There were bolts missing on my Vader. There were bolts that were not tight on my Vader. I went through every accessible nut and bolt on this Condor. Nothing was missing. Nothing was loose. I did loosen some things to add some blue Loctite just for some extra security, but just right out the box, no problems whatsoever. I think the thing that impressed me most, outside of the key, right out the box, was that I could easily find neutral. I had my Boom Vader for about a year, and it took several oil changes, and probably maybe once I got about 500 miles on it, I was able to find neutral most of the time. But with this bike, right out the box, no adjustment at all. Even with the shipping or break-in oil in it, I was able to find neutral. I have thus since done an oil change, and no changes at all. I can shift through all the gears smooth, find neutral without a problem. So that was a major step up in my opinion. Also, this bike comes with something, because everybody complains about the batteries dying on these little clones. I haven't had that problem. I do have a battery tender that I keep, so I can always keep my batteries charged. But this one, just in case that does happen, actually comes with kickstart. So you don't have to try and push start your bike if the battery dies. You have kickstart right there. To me, just another great feature. And it has everything else that you typically find on the Grom clones. You got your passenger pegs right there. Not bad. The exhaust is nothing. It doesn't sound particularly good. Sounds scooter-esque, if you ask me. And I haven't been able to source an aftermarket one that didn't need modifications as of yet, but hopefully that'll change. As I understand, this is the first year for this particular clone to be on the market, so hopefully it'll pick up some steam, and there'll be some aftermarket things available. All the lighting, LED, right out the box. So no need to change any of that. No need to buy a relay or anything like that to add LED lights to your bike. Lights are pretty functional too. They're pretty bright. I'll turn it on here in a second. Yeah, brakes are good. And just really right out of the box, I didn't have to do anything. It came mostly assembled. I had to put the front wheel on, which is really easy. And I had to put the handlebars on. And that was also very simple. A couple of videos online if you needed help doing that. And that was it. Put some gas in it. I did have a kink in one of the fuel lines. I had to work that out when I first got it, but it was just, unkinking the fuel line, the fuel flow through, got it started up, adjusted the idle. Don't really even need the choke when I start it up, even when it's cold. I'll just give it a little bit of gas when I start it up, and it's normally good to go. But yeah, so far, in my opinion, and again, this is based on my past ownership of the Boom Vader. This is the clone to get. I have seen, and I'm interested in maybe getting my hands on the Benelli TNT 135. I've seen a lot of good things about that. It's a good looking bike. But this one here, Really, I mean, I've gotten it up to 60 miles per hour pretty easily. The one modification I did do from the factory, it comes with a 15 tooth front sprocket. I did go in and put a 16 in there. I felt like a 17 with the 5-speed transmission would just, I would have no torque in fifth gear. At least that's my feeling. I haven't actually tested it out, but that's what I believe, because I had a 17 tooth in the Boom Vader, and it made fourth gear basically torqueless and gutless, and I figured I would have the same experience if I put the 17 tooth in this one. So I went with a 16, which, you know, obviously spaced out the gears, brought the RPMs down probably about 500 RPMs between the shift points, which is good. So I can, you know, can cruise doing 50 in fourth gear, you know, without it sounding like I'm killing it, and still have a gear to go. So I haven't really tried to do a top speed run yet, because I think I only have like maybe 40 or 50 miles on it. So I'm still breaking it in. But yeah, RPS Condor, 150cc Grom clone. In my opinion, you can't beat it. It is a little bit more expensive than the Boom Vader is. I think at the time of this is November 2022, it cost me about $1,800. And I think on average, you can get a Vader for about $1,400, give or take, delivered to your door. So you pay a few $100s more. But in my opinion, you definitely get what you pay for. Let me turn these lights on for you guys so you can see. And it's the same, I believe it's the exact same dash as on the Boom Vader. The colors changed and all that. Yeah, and I got 45 miles on it right now. But yeah, the LED lighting all works really good. Turn the brights on too. Really bright. Turn signals, everything bright and LED. As far as future mods and upgrades, I think I'm honestly going to rock it stock for quite some time, just to see how it does. You know, most people get these bikes and immediately throw an exhaust on, a carb on, and this, that, and the other. I'm going to try and ride it and see how good it can be without doing much of anything else to it. At most, beyond the sprocket that I've already done, if an exhaust becomes available, I might do that. But I haven't had any problems with the carb, and based on what I can tell, it should be serviceable if I ever did run into any problems. So I don't think I'll be changing that or anything like that. No big bore kits or anything. It's already 150 cc's. I'll just see what I can do with it as it is. But so far, with the first 45 miles on the bike, highly recommend it. Another thing, the fender eliminator. I want to do it for aesthetics, but as you can see down there, I already got a lot of dirt and stuff under there already. And with the eliminator kit, as I understand it, you lose a lot of this plastic under here. So a lot of that water and such would be splashing right up under the seat where a lot of your electronics are. So I don't really want to do that, because I do live in a semi-rural area, a lot of gravel. Sometimes there's no water. Even though I live in Nevada, there still seems to be a lot of standing water. It's a really odd thing. But in any event, I think I don't like the way the whale tail looks. It is functional, and sometimes, you know, function is more important than form. So as it stands, I'll probably just leave it on there, you know, unless I just get sick of looking at it. But other than that, I got rid of the rabbit ear mirrors because I always hate those. Just threw some bar ends on there. I have some different bars I could put on there, but I don't know if I'm going to bother. The seating position's good. I can handle the bike fine. So I may just, like I said, leave it as is and just ride it and try and maintain it, and give some input and some feedback on a mostly stock bike. Most guys get the Grom clones, the Z125s, and mod them out, which is great. I think it's great. A part of me loves to do that. I do it with some of my e-bikes, but this one, you very rarely see somebody that just keeps the bike and just rides it and gives you feedback on what it's like just to have the bike as it is. You know, everybody is not mechanically inclined and able to change carbs, and maybe just don't want to learn or don't want to tackle it. So I'll give some feedback on what it's like to get the bike, keep it mostly stock with the exception of the sprocket, and, you know, see how it rides, see how it lasts. So please like, comment, subscribe. There'll be more to come. We'll have more updates on the electric bike fleet over there. Still waiting on the new controller for the X52, so that'll come. I got a new helmet with built-in Bluetooth. I'll probably do a review on that sometime soon too. Never enough helmets. All right, like, comment, subscribe, guys. More to come on the RPS Condor 150cc Grom clone, the king of the clones, in this guy's humble opinion. Like, comment, subscribe.